every fall down case, no matter what shape or size, is always a problem for a plaintiff. You know, especially in fall down cases where maybe other people have been walking about the same area where the plaintiff was, and the issue is always, well, why did the plaintiff fall and not someone else? So juries, in my experience, have been very receptive to defendants' claims that falls are the person's fault and not a condition or something else. So a fall down case in and of itself, to me, is inherently high risky, because you just have that risk that the jury's going to say, you know, it was probably the plaintiff who wasn't paying attention, and that's why the person fell. So those cases are kind of dynamite. They're just high-risk cases, number one. And then in that particular case that I had mentioned, you have the obstacle of the medical evidence. You know, the cases that are better to present in front of juries are cases where the injuries are more objectively causally related to the accident. You have somebody who falls from a ladder and breaks a bone and goes to the hospital, there's no issue. You fell from a ladder, you went to the hospital, you got a broken bone. You're in a car accident, your elbow hurts, they bring you to the hospital, they x-ray, you break your bone. Cases involving herniated disc, which that case was about, a herniated disc by its very nature is not necessarily the product of a traumatic event. It could be, but is it necessarily? It can also come from a degenerative or aging process. Anytime you have a personal injury case where you have an alleged injury that could be derived from trauma or could be derived from an aging or degenerative process, you're always going to face an insurer or a defendant who's going to get an expert, who's going to play that card, and you always have to be mindful of the fact that you're always going to have a jury that might buy into that defense argument that this is an aging condition and it wasn't due to trauma, that it was simply due to a person getting older. So it's another subject area where lawyers have to be careful. There's high risk involved, and these are the kinds of cases where lawyers and their clients, the clients especially, need to think about whether a compromise on value is appropriate because of the risks.